Trunks, I haven't hugged you even once since you were a baby. Let's embrace.
Come on, Dad. You're embarrassing me.
Take care, my son.
Oh.
My boy's animation still looks so good. I haven't seen them in a hot minute, but I did say I was going to be taking Majin Vegeta in against some of the more difficult content nowadays. We're going to start with Shadow Dragon SYN. We do have a Trunks on the rotation, which is good. One thing I have noticed is, of course, back in the day when these guys dropped, it was a blessing for Majin Vegeta because, of course, to get the 30% damage reduction from the entrance animation, especially to couple it with the 20% you get with 6 or more key spheres, you need a Trunks unit, and there was no good Trunks units. Then these guys dropped as a slot 1 unit. Majin Vegeta can be a slot 1 unit, but he's much better as a slot 2, where he can get his extra attack and defense from supering, get the key spheres, get his extra defense, and raise his attack and defense on super by 30%. But now, when I was building the team, we actually have quite a few good Trunks units, so it's never really going to be a struggle to actually get his damage reduction from his entrance animation. The only thing is, with him being like a 1.5 years plus old now, he's outdated for the content that's out, even like with dupes and rainbowed, which mine is level 10 links and does have only 1 dupe in him. That's the thing, now we have a good amount of Trunks units like, you know, Vegeta and Trunks, Carnival Arc, Sword of Hope Trunks, Easy A Transforming Trunks, even the side Easy A Strength Trunks. But the content has gotten so much more difficult that, while that is the case, it's a bit of a catch-22. But at least we do have 30% damage reduction right now. The only annoying thing is, we can't get his 6 key spheres to get him the extra 20%. I really do wish, that's the one thing I wished about this Majin Vegeta is I really wish his orb changing that he gets wasn't restricted to a HP threshold. It's not even a bad threshold, it's actually pretty good. It's just because he's kind of always needed it, it would have been great if it just kind of wasn't. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it would have been good if you didn't have to lose HP to get it. Is that going to drop the way I want it? It's not. We actually get 5. Oh, if only there was 1 more. We've only got 138k defense. Even with all that defense we're going to get from the passive, it's not going to give us a lot. But we'll see how much he's tanking without his full damage reduction. Kind of the best case scenario to be hitting Trunks though. Still quite a bit of damage to take. Of course, he hasn't supered yet. Also isn't on a 200% lead, but just because his team isn't quite strong enough, just isn't quite good enough. I mean, Vegeta's family's kind of been shagged for years, but of course, Majin Vegeta's 200% lead isn't quite good enough. And also, the other 200% lead is the Year 8 Boo Duo, who I don't have. So, we do have a 170 lead, but on a much, much better team. Additional, maybe? No. Double digits, though. I'll take that. Considering SYN starts with pretty decent damage, pretty solid damage to be doing, like, from turn 1. I'll take that. That's not bad. Bear in mind, again, he isn't on a 200% lead. Again, that's only going to make so much of a difference, like an extra 20-30k. That's only 130 something k defense and then an extra 50% on super. We did get 3 or more key spheres, so we did get the extra 50% from that. We didn't have the full 50% damage reduction because we didn't get 6 or more key spheres. And then 30% attack and defense on super. So for him to do double digits straight away, pretty good. Pretty good, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, looking at his kit, eventually when my boy does get an Easy A, he's actually going to be really good. Like, he should generally be really, really good once he gets an Easy A. I mean, he still looks pretty solid now. It's just as I said, with how content's aged, he's obviously aged with it because he's a 1.5 years plus old. So there is that. I don't really want to use an item, but I think I may have to. No, we should be fine. That Vegeta and Trunks is rainbowed. Gohan's chilling. He's also going to super first. This Vegeta and Trunks can also just pop off with dodges. That's also another thing. Yeah, so while we've now got like a decent amount of good Trunks units that can actually help get his entrance animation, He's aged a bit too much for that to really matter, which is a big shame. Because for a first appearance for turn 1, he's actually started off quite well. Now, that is only a basic, but still, for a unit that is a year and a half plus old, and the Shadow Dragon event being a lot more recent than Majin Vegeta is, I will take double digits. Just will that be the case for later on in the event, especially in the final phase when he's going to have type disadvantage. So we're going to need that orb changing to be kicking in, and we're going to hope, like, we're going to need to get 6 key spheres majority of the time so we can have his full damage reduction. I hope when they easy A, they remove the condition for the orb changing. Again, 88% HP really isn't bad. Like, it's actually pretty good. It's just he needs damage reduction. I think he's always kind of needed it. Like, he can always work it. That was always the one thing why I didn't understand the criticism when he dropped. Yes, he's a much better slot 1 unit than the majority of units that were out at the time, but he was only a good slot 1 unit if you could get him the full 6 key spheres. But he was a much better slot 2 unit because that's where he gets the majority of his defense. So that was the case. That's why I never understood the full-blown criticism that my boy Jeets was getting. Now this is perfect. As long as we can maintain our HP, we can constantly have the orb changing. So we're going to get 7 key spheres. So we're going to have the full damage reduction. I want to see how he tanks with no extra defense on super, with just full-blown damage reduction and 162k defense. 3k, do you know what? I'll take that. Considering mine's only got a dupe, and yes, he's level 10 links. We're missing quite a lot of them. But considering he hasn't got no extra defense right now, I'll take that. Could have been a super, but it's fine. And of course, the basics of oh, how much is this going to do? Super, damage reduction, 147k. I'll take that. That's not bad, you know? That's actually pretty decent. SYN Shenron's doing like just over 900k in the very beginning. So for a unit that's a year and a half plus old, I'll take that. 147k here is decent. I can't lie. To me anyway. We got the revival kind of chilling. So do you know what? I'm not going to actually... I don't really mind. We can get the revival. We can recover 70% of our HP. And the good thing about the revival is it doesn't even stop us, you know, keeping that threshold for Jeets' orb changing. So if we can get the revival, that's going to be perfect. Because then we gain a lot of health. Also keep his orb changing, which we need. We do a little bit of extra damage with it with that 88% attack, but I mainly just want it so we can always or consistently get the full 50% damage reduction. But yeah, looking at my boy's kit, I can't lie. When he easy A's, he's actually going to be very good. I hope they give him Ki in his passive once he easy A's. The only thing about Jeets is, right, his link set isn't bad. He has quite a few common Vegeta links like Saiyan Warrior Ace, Super Saiyan, Fierce Battle, Royal Lineage, Saiyan Pride. He has Over in a Flash, like Supreme Power, and of course his best linking units are like other Majin Vegeta units and a few other Vegeta units, but like they're not good enough. Like any of them are good enough for like current content. There is the Easy A transforming Vegeta, who of course will Easy A once Trunks drops, but he doesn't get good until like he's in God, and that just takes too long. So when he Easy A's, I hope they give him some Ki in his passive, like Ki +3 with like the attack and defense plus whatever it ends up being. And then instead of 30% attack and defense on super, hopefully they can give him like, you know, 50. And then the damage reduction, to be fair, with the damage reduction, he's actually fine. If they just get rid of the HP condition as well, that would help him out massively. I don't know what else they could give him. I mean, they could give him like a crit chance or build up crit in his passive or something. I'm not sure, but he actually has a pretty good foundation to his kit to get a pretty good Easy A. So once again, I kind of want to see how he's... Do you not know? We're going to do this because this is the rotation you run when you run Jeets. This is the rotation you run. We've actually recouped a lot of HP. Like a lot of HP. I mean, we've lost quite a bit of it back there, so it actually kind of helps us keep and maintain the orb changes, so I don't really mind that too much. Oh, maybe they could give him like a 50% defense raise on super and then make him stack. Just so his active skill ends up doing big boy damage, especially because there's a guaranteed crit in there. I'd be down for that, I can't lie. I'd be down for that. Group attack 9, that's good. That's good. That means the group attack from Syn would never catch him. Oh, he's going to be supered. How much do you take from this one? This is like a milli. 276k. Again, I don't think that's too bad, you know. I don't think that's too bad. We have an additional supered once, so we don't even have like an extra 30% defense to tank a bit better. He has only one dupe, which isn't bad, you know, it's better than base, but, or 55%, but he has only one dupe. But for like content that's come out like over a year after this guy has been out, just over 200k from a million super, considering again he has like 160 something k defense. Well, once you get the 3 or more key spheres and get that 50% defense before he supers, and then after he supers, you're probably looking at 300k defense topped, which is nowhere near good enough for any of the content nowadays. It's mainly the damage reduction doing all the work, obviously. But I can't lie, tanking like just over a million super for that much, pretty decent, I'm not gonna lie. 247k I think it was. My boy's putting in work right now. He's putting in some work. Like if we had him in slot 1 and he got supered before he supered himself, yeah, it'd be way more naturally, but he gets a lot of defense, as I said, after he super attacks. And as I said, that was the kind of the main thing why I didn't understand why he got so much hate. Yes, he was a far better slot 1 unit than a lot of units you would run him with naturally because of all the damage reduction, right? But he gets, as I said, a lot of defense after he supers. He gets the 1 on super, the 30% attack and defense raise, the 50 on super, 3 or more key spheres to get 50% defense. Like his best bet is slot 2. That's his ideal place. Now, I mean, maybe when he EZAs, maybe he'll end up being like a much better slot 1 unit. But now he's got some damage reduction, not damage reduction. Now he's got some type disadvantage to deal with. Oh, we have his active. You know I've got to pop this. You know I've got to pop his active skill. Yeah, do you know what, Dokkan, just for me, let him stack. In fact, let him stack attack and defense. Why not? They've really liked, you know, stacking units recently, but like, I mean, they already stacked beforehand, but let him stack so his active skill does even more damage with the guaranteed crit. The good thing is, the good thing is he's actually going to do some damage because of the guaranteed crit. I don't think he's going to go do too much just because he isn't that strong anymore. But we'll see. I haven't seen his animations in a while, and they're still some of my favorite in the entire game.
I know how to be rid of you now. For good. I'll keep you from coming back this time. I blow you to dust. Farewell, Bulma, Trunks. Even you, Kakarot.
Yeah, you see what I mean? 2.9 mil crit, like, the guaranteed crit's great, but, like, he doesn't, the active skill doesn't hit that hard. So, like, if he gets beefed up eventually when he gets an easy A, that would be fantastic. If, I said, I don't know, they can let him stack or something, that active skill, especially with the guaranteed crit, will be hitting. So Dokkan, I mean, I don't know why you would be, but if you're watching and you're listening, let him stack attack. By 30 is fine, by 50 is great. Let him raise his defense by 50%. Make the orb changing non-restricted. And my boy Jeets is in a much better spot. I'm going to use an item just because we do not have that much HP right now. And I know my Vegeta and Trunks do have to build up. We can get a ton of HP back. We've definitely, of course, got the full 50% damage reduction. And one thing that is guaranteed, even though he has type disadvantage and hardly any defense, is he's going to tank everything for nothing here. And that is because, for you no item users, doesn't mean anything to you. For me who uses items, he's actually going to tank everything for nothing, even if he gets super attacked, because we've got the full 50% damage reduction, and then we've got the 40% from the Whis. So we have 90% damage reduction right now, which means nothing would hurt him. Nothing at all. He has almost full-blown 100% damage reduction. Nothing is going to do damage to my boy Cheats right now. Big 3.2 mil crit, 5 dodge as well. Yeah, of course, this does nothing. I mean, we still actually may die because we have like next to no HP. We have 25k. We are literally holding on by a whole pubic hair, like a thread of pubic hair, bro. Like, it's gonna be curtains for us. We're still alive, though. We are still alive. Yeah, we're gonna pop that. I'm gonna turn the animations off, though. Let's pop this. We may still die because of Tech Trunks. He's barely stacked. I say barely. I don't think he's stacked whatsoever. So I think the group attack will probably take him out. But hopefully not. Hopefully we survive. I mean, do you know what? I might... Oh, no. I was going to say I might double up on Whis, but do you know what? I'm not going to do that because I want to see how my boy Jeets tanks without an item next turn. If we make it, of course, which there's a high chance we don't. Okay, maybe we might. The only one who's taken damage this turn so far is going to be Tech Trunks, and that's because he's barely stacked. There is another group attack in there. As long as there's no super attack against Tech Trunks, we survive. We survive. Now, at this point, SYN, I know on a super is doing like 1.3 mil. On a basic, I'm pretty sure it's... I think it's 500k or near 500k. So I think with the type disadvantage, as long as Jeets has full damage reduction and supers, I think he tanks it. I think he tanks it. If he was to be supered, I still think he takes a lot of damage. Like a lot of damage. Yeah, just under 500k. He does 480 on a basic, 1.344 on a super. And again, with full damage reduction, I think the AoE, I think he's fine. He might not tank like perfect double digits or like triple, but I still don't think the group attack will be anything to worry about for him. But that's pre-super. Post-super, I think he'd be okay. I think the main thing that just hits him here is a super attack. But I mean, without the damage reduction, I think basics will still hurt him. Without the full damage reduction, and that's mainly just because of the type advantage. Sorry, type disadvantage. We've actually done a ton of damage in these last 2 turns. At least there's not going to be a super attack, so we should be good here. Yeah, cool. We still have next to no HP. Right, so we can actually get him the key spheres he needs, which is great. So he does have full damage reduction. I'm going to pop him in slot 1. Just to see how much he's tanking pre-super. There is a group... We gotta get a Dokkan attack as well. He actually dodged the group attack. That's jokes. I would have preferred if he got hit by it. I really would have preferred if he got hit by it, but he went and dodged it. Do you know what? He actually done really well. He actually done really well. As I said, if I had to guess, super attack, no item. Maybe he doesn't get one shot, but he takes a ton of damage if he doesn't. This is with full damage reduction, by the way. Full damage reduction on a basic. Pre-super, I think he tanks it just fine. Post, definitely. Group attack, again, I think he's okay. Without the damage reduction or full damage reduction, basics hurt him a little bit more, but he's fine. Group attack hurts him quite a bit more, but again, he should be okay. But still taking a bit too much damage. Super attack, I think he gets clocked. He done really well. Done really, really well. I don't think Fusion's Master will be the same kind of run, but we'll have to see. But you can let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care, have a good rest of your day, and peace.